Morning, everyone, and I echo what Laura said. Thank you for coming back for day 3. I definitely know how hard it is for us to take 3 days out of our busy work schedules. I know many of us are balancing, checking our work emails, responding to things, and learning at the same time, and it is hard. So I thank you for that, for attending. I also want to thank my FDA colleagues who've been attending as well for the last 3 days. We have representation from various offices in Cedar, as well as representations from my colleagues in CBER as well. And so I also appreciate them taking time out of their busy schedules because I know what their calendars also look like, because it probably looks like what my calendar is. And so I really do thank everyone for coming. It's an exciting time in rare disease. I think the last 2 days we've really reflected on that. I think we've reflected on advancements in science with gene therapy approvals, with more ASO approvals, and other symptomatic treatments in our rare disease space. And while we've been kind of having a little bit more of a neuro flavor the last couple of days, we know that we're attacking all rare diseases on all fronts, and that in Cedar, that there is a rare disease in every therapeutic review division, and they are all tackling those challenges. So I want to, as we continue our conversation today, I think we're going to hear from Cecile on some efforts from a global perspective. I think we got a really great early sense of that yesterday with our EMA and Health Canada conversations of what's going on. And actually, I think also from our industry panels where there was that conversation of what is it like to really interact with, all the regulatory bodies and that preparation and thinking of how do we engage in that way. Patients are at the heart of what we do. I think we've had some great conversations on that in the last 2 days about why we are here. And we're all here for the same thing, which is to find treatments, perhaps cures if possible, for our diseases and disorders. Also at the hallmark of, I think, what we have been discussing in a way is how we need to collaborate together. And efforts of pre-competitive space work is important. And I think that bringing all of the stakeholders together allows for it to happen, for all of us to be in that room together to have that discussion. And I think the other piece, which is why when the agency thought about a data and analytics platform 4 years ago, it was just a schematic model. It was kind of sketched out. We talk about a rainy day meeting in DC, and there was this sketch of, could we do this? And we did, and it's been built. And so I do encourage data sharing of studies. I encourage our industry members to data share when they can, because that is great informative data. I encourage our patient groups to data share their registries or their natural history studies or the data that you're collecting. Because we know when we can pull our data together, we're able to generate better solutions and better informed drug development. And we're starting to see efforts with that emerging now. We're starting to see the example that we heard yesterday from the free or sick taxi example. We're also hearing it in other opportunities where efforts can be engaged with the various regulatory authorities on how to get letters of support and opinions on these efforts. So we know that we have to work together to help advance rare disease. So I thank you again for coming and joining this. I ask, and Laura doesn't even know I'm just going to say this, I ask that you fill out your evaluation when it comes out. As someone who used to do a lot of program evaluation in a past life, that's actually really important. We need that feedback. We need to know. We have a lot of different stakeholders in this room, and each of you as individual stakeholders probably have different hopes in one set of meetings and conferences. And so we need to know, what are your questions? What would you like to hear more of? These are important to think about how to generate a next conversation in rare disease. So I do encourage filling out your evaluation when possible. So with that, Colin, do you want to come up? Okay. So Colin's going to come up and say some words, but I want to thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. It was great seeing everyone, and I wish you everyone good luck and continued success in advancing rare disease drug development.